to Come and See with Terri Lee. Have you ever wondered where that yummy goodness comes from that we put on our pancakes and our waffles and our French toast? Pure maple syrup. This is our next adventure. So come and see with Terri Lee. Good morning. Here we are with Tony at Joyful Acres, and Tony's going to walk us through the process of how to make maple syrup. But before that, how about a little history on where it started and how long you've been here?
Okay. I started making maple syrup with my grandfather when I was 8-9 years old. He was a dairy farmer in Abrams and just had a pig scalding pot. And we'd go out into his 40, tap a few trees, and he used sumac and cut it into little 8-inch lengths, and he pushed the pith out. Then he tapped the sumac into the maple tree, and that was his spout for the syrup to come out. And we cook all day in the pig scalding pot and come up with maybe a pint of syrup for a day. And I went from that to a 55-gallon barrel, and I cut it lengthwise, and I hung that between 2 trees and did that through my high school and college years. Then Dad found a farmer who had a 4x8 flat pan that was just sitting in his barn because he was too old to do it anymore. So he gave it to us, and we built a field stone wall and put the flat pan on that, and we cooked that for 15 years just out in the woods. And finally I decided I've been doing this for 40 years, maybe I should do it the way the real guys do it. And I bought an evaporator and had to build a pole building in my 40s, and so that's 25 years I've been doing it with an evaporator. We are going to the sugar bush to collect yesterday afternoon's run. One of the first days in late February, when it starts to thaw during the day, it gets above 32, we are anxious to start tapping. So we come out, and on these lines, these taps are around the line, and there's a plug at the end of these T's that the tap will go into, and that's how it stays for the year. So we come out and we unhook it from the T, and we drill a hole into the tree, and this is a 5/16-inch hole, and it goes in about 2 inches. And we like it on a sunny day like today, when as soon as you drill, the sap starts to run out of the hole. Then you get excited because it's all ready to go. And then you put the tap in, and you just have to put it in tight. There's a slight graduation to the tap so that it will tighten around the tube. And the sap gathers in the hole behind it and then runs out the tap down the tube and into the gathering tank. And I always have to tell the guys more than once, sap only runs downhill. So you can't put the tap down here. You have to put it so it runs down to the T and the T down to the line.
Gravity, that makes sense.
It's all gravity flow.
It's all gravity.
And sap only runs downhill.
Guy rides the tractor and the 80-year-old guy dumps the bucket. Takes that to me.
Nothing wrong with this picture.
So will you use this whole stack, you think?
Oh yeah, we use all this already.
Oh, this whole section. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see here.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm counting to see how old this tree is.
Oh.
Yeah, see if you're older or the tree's older. Well, I come up with 76, so you're older.
Oh.
finishing tanks that are divided, so we have 4 divisions in the finishing tank. The sap comes in from the big evaporator and runs up, and there's a triangular hole in the dividing metal in the middle of the pan. Lets it go here. There's a hose that runs from here to this tank and lets it flow here until the final division. And this division has a thermometer from the outside, and as it becomes more sugar, the boiling point goes up. And when it reaches 7 degrees above boiling, then we can take it off, and it's close to syrup. But that's when we take it off from the evaporator, when it's 7 degrees above the boiling point of water, and the sugar concentration is close to syrup. And the float tank controls the level in the finishing pans. So at the top of the float tank, sap comes in from the evaporating pan. And as these evaporate off, the float goes down and brings sap from here into the finishing tanks, which run there, come back, run through this pipe to the second finishing tank down there, comes out, has a thermometer that says what the degree is, and
Almost 7.
it's almost 7. It's holding at 6 right now. And when it's done, then we turn the valve and take the syrup off.
Okay. That'll be cool to see. It's at 7 degrees above boiling. So we're ready to see some maple syrup.
Dip the filter in hot sap it makes the syrup flow through a little easier. Try to hold it. And I just put it here where he's watching the float, just to moisten it. Just put that in here. And we put clothespins on so that it don't slip in and spill everything.
Here we go. Maple syrup for my pancake.
If it's a little less, I mean, not quite up there.
It's right here,
Yeah, so we can get up there. And we have many pails to can. We had 31 pails this year, which was 10 more than our previous best year.
5-gallon pails.
Yeah, 5-gallon pails. They
So how
average
many
about 4 gallons maybe in these. So
All together.
30 times 4 is 124 gallons of sap off the evaporator.
Wow.
That we then, for our process, we take the cold syrup, put it back in the evaporator to heat up in the finishing pan on the end.
Okay.
And when it gets heated up, and then we constantly test it, and it gets to the level we want of sugar content, then we transfer it from the evaporator to these finishing pans. In the finishing pans, we again monitor the sugar content, and when it's right there, then we add some diatomite filtering sand, which takes out sugar sand that might be in the syrup and any other impurities that came through. The sand binds with the impurities, and after we mix it in, we pump it through a filtering machine. That filters the sand and the impurities out, and the filtered syrup goes into the hot water bath coffee pot, where we then use the spigot from the coffee pot to fill the bottles with syrup. After the jars are filled with syrup, they fill up cases and stack them in the back. And then later, the bottles will be washed off in case they spilt any syrup on the bottles, and then labeled. And then they're ready to be sold.
So this is the first time?
First
You
time.
bottle?
First time I bottled.
Awesome. I understand you ran out of syrup this morning.
I did.
Yeah?
I didn't have any syrup for my pancakes,
Well, you can't have that.
right?
How
So-
close is that?
I understand you're an elementary school teacher.
Elementary school. I teach 5th grade.
Really?
Yes.
What school?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom, Wisconsin.
Yeah. My wife is an elementary school teacher. She teaches 5th grade this year also.
Really? Where's she?
She's in Bonduel,
Bonduel.
Wisconsin.
Awesome. Well, a shout out to Ann Barron's 5th grade class in Bonduel. Hope you enjoy the video, guys.
No, we left.
Okay, Tony, thank you so much for letting us come out and see the process and your hospitality while we were here.
Okay,
It's
thank
been
you.
awesome. So here we have the finished product. It's some of the larger bottles and then the smaller bottles.
A quart bottle and a pint
Okay.
plastic jug. These are very good for mailing. And I have orders from Florida, Tennessee, and Colorado.
Really?
Kids
That's
of
awesome.
friends
Yeah.
that they want to
Okay.
send them to. So I bottle that in plastic to send it. And the glass is for local consumption.
Okay, great. Well, I can't wait to get home and try some on my pancakes, but I didn't have any left in my cupboard.
You didn't have any left.
I had none left.
Your dad fell behind in
Right,
passing
he
it
didn't
on,
take care
huh?
of me, yeah.
Ah, okay, good.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, thank you very much for coming out and doing this process. The first two.
Good, awesome.
Video.
I hope you enjoyed our adventure with Tony in Joyful Acres. If you like the video, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe. And put a comment below. I'm looking to randomly pick one of my subscribers to give a bottle of maple syrup to. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notified for our next adventure. See you next time.